Now then chaps, welcome to another video. A video which might be a little sad for some of you. Some of you might be celebrating, because this could be the last time you'll see this car complete in one piece. Complete's probably the wrong word, eh? So those of you who've been following the race journey will know that I built this car last year, start of the year. Well, it was over, well, let's call it 2 winters ago. We're coming up to winter again, aren't we? So nearly 2 years since when it used to look like this. So it was a black car originally. Bought it from Josh. Josh used to daily it. It was built from parts before that. It was in a bit of a state when I got it. It needed a clutch, and the engine went soon after that as well. And it's been a good little first race car, I think. I don't know what you think, but I think it's been good. Now, you might have seen in some of my more recent videos, especially at Burkett Relay, which was yesterday at Silverstone, you might have seen that I've been having some trouble with the handling. Yeah, and I've tried to dial it out a bit. If you come down here, before I went to the Burkett, I put a bit of rake on the car. I raised the front slightly to try and get more weight there, and you know, have less bite from the front. But the front's always bitey, right? It's always been bitey, and then there's always been a fine line between understeer and oversteer, which is, you know, kind of part of the car really, isn't it? But for some reason now that fine line's gone, and I'm either oversteering or, well, didn't really feel understeery at Burkett. I know it looked it on picture, but it was more that I felt like I couldn't turn in because I knew I would end up oversteering. And there's a few times where it worked. There are a few corners where it worked, but I'm just not been real happy with quite a few things on the car. And it's done a season, it's done the Burkett, so now it's time to kill it off, I think. I'm not going to be too rushed into the killing off, because, you know, what a car it's been, right? Yeah? Buy merch. Celebrate. Now, it's taught me a lot. Or should I say I've learnt a lot whilst racing it. Also building it and repairing it. I had a look at my gearbox earlier. I've had a bit of tidy out today. Look, I've had a nice big space for it in the car graveyard, where it can come and rest for a little while. Yeah. So it's had, what, 3 or 4 gearboxes. It's on its 3rd engine. I've not really replaced any panels. Oh, I had a different rear bumper, I think. And I was meant to change the door, but we never did. So had a fair amount of contact. So had a fair amount of abuse, let's say. And quite a few dyno sessions as well, eh? Stuff like that. But yeah, I learned quite a lot on it. But this man here, well, he revealed something to me recently, and that is that the facelift, or should I say the post-2004 cars, have extra bracing and stuff on the front, which in my book would make them a bit stiffer. Of course, it's for crash damage stuff, but if the front's a bit stiffer, then maybe the rear won't be as loose. Maybe. Now, to add to the interesting handling characteristics, I do also have a bent damper. I did only find that out just before Burkett. But yeah, this side of the car took a real big hit. After the first impact at Silverstone, obviously I got hit into the sides. And yeah, it's pretty bad damage. Now, I could continue just to race, you know, send it, have a laugh, have the crack. Which is, I'm still thinking about it. I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to kill the car off yet. Because I could still just keep it as it is, keep entering races and keep having fun, and put the money here instead. but I could just, it's more the time really, not the money, because Mr. J Spec man is hopefully going to sort me a shell out, and then it'd just be the time to transfer everything off into the new shell. Or do I just keep it as it is, a fully built car, and you know, the time can go here instead? Okay. Now the car was, and still is, pretty rusty. Now I painted over most of it, because I kind of expected this to happen anyway. I thought, you know, we'll just go out, it's going to be my first car, first race car, it's going to get banged up. And, you know, I was right, it got banged up. So I didn't spend a whole lot of time trying to find a really clean shell to start from or anything like that. But I kind of feel like if I want to push a bit further next year, you know, I finished in the top 10 of the championship this year, but if I want to push a bit further up, then maybe starting with a fresh car is going to be the way to do that. You know, and I can maybe do things like move the weight around a little bit, trying to, you know, all stuff that I could do to this shell, but I don't want to go any further with this car as it is, because I feel like I'm always going to have the slight kink in the chassis at the back. You know, I'm always going to have the rust. You know, it's been welded up quite a few times underneath. There's a few patches and stuff, and the floor of the car, to give you an example, obviously all this is all bent in at the door as well, but the floor, you can't really see, can you? Basically the floor moves around a lot. I mean, she's not a total rock box by any means, but it's just suboptimal, and do I want to be trying to be optimal? Don't know. Obviously I've still got a lot of stuff to do myself and my own driving and all that to get out of scratch, but I don't know. Do I spend another year in this car, or do I try and build something better? Or do I do as Mr. Champion, who's politely waiting for me to finish my video before starting up his Skyline? He suggests keeping this car as is and building another car on the side and having two MR2s, which, you know, that's where money comes into it and not just time. I'd need to obviously spend a couple of £1,000 and a lot of time building up a new car. But potentially, yeah, he reckons it's the best option. But yeah, when I get a race truck, I can take them both, can't I? Have a backup, yeah. So anyway, today's video, just a bit of discovery, a bit of discussion. And yeah, the first thing I'm going to do is get the car in here, get it jacked up, and take some parts off. I'm going to be stripping the rear end anyway. I'm going to pull the engine, I think, just to have a look at some things. The gearbox has got to come off anyway, and it's just as easy to take the engine off. But I just want to double check some things. I always felt like it was a bit tardy. The facelift engine definitely felt an improvement, and we saw it made the peak power, but I don't know if you thought the same, but compared to some of the other cars, for example at the Birkit, the two Roadsters there, they just sounded a lot stronger, didn't they? It's weird. It's weird what the watching someone else drive can do to you. Anyway, big intro, but yeah, that's where I'm coming from. I'm still in two minds. I probably won't have decided, or I might have decided by the time I post this. Like I say, today's after the Birkit, but I'm way behind on my videos, so I'll, yeah. Hopefully the car's not Coke cans by the time you watch this. I'm sure it won't be. We'll try and go steady and have a good think about it. But yeah, let's get the car in here, jacked up. I'll show you some bits that have been concerning me. I'll show you some of the damage, show you the bent coilover. I think some of the rear arms are a bit squiffy as well, or some of the bushes at least, but yeah, the problems are definitely the rear. The front's not too bad, although, I mean, just as a visual representation of the hackiness, the acky, of the scumminess, the rustiness. Well, you know what, I've put a torch on, it doesn't look that bad, does it? Just general nastiness, you know? It don't even look bad, does it? I don't know what I'm whinging about, just keep it. Just send it as it is. I mean, the bulkhead's pretty rusty. I can't remember if I painted over that or not. Anyway, let's get it jacked up. New radiator, look, put new radiator on for Birkit. Fancy, third one this year, yep. And just draining the old gearbox oil. Look at the colour of it. It's only done Alton Park and then Birkit. It should be golden. This is a UK box, a factory fresh one. I have not played with this gearbox. Look at the state of it. I don't even know why I'm bothering to keep it. but I am. I thought I'd keep it because it'd be real nice and clean. I'd run it through my freshly built box once, you know, just to get rid of all the metal and then dump it again, but why is it look like that after such a short amount of time? It's been a month, maybe a month in the car. Shouldn't look like that, should it? Bloody hell. Anyway, yeah, I'm just stripping it down. I'm not going to pull the engine or the gearbox today. I'll have a bit of thinking time, put my thinking cap on. But I'm just pulling some of the suspension off, mainly to show you the coilover. So maybe I'll just do this side. But yeah, I want to show you the damage. It's pretty gnarly, dude. Gnarly, dude. Yeah, I got a lot of stuff off. Look. Where is it? Well, I got some arms off and stuff. So I've been checking poly bushes as well, because I want to try and find something more than the damper broken. Hopefully. Let me show you this. So, passenger side. Now, area to take note of. This area here, yeah? This bit of the frame here. To be fair, it has got a bit of a ding. You know, it's not absolutely perfect there. It should be straight there. You can see where it's been impacted by the odd coilover. But when we go on this side, kind of different story. So on this side, it's had a right thunk off the coilover. You can see that, can't you? Can you see how bent in the chassis is? Yeah. Now I've not actually measured it yet to see what the actual score is. Maybe it's not bent. No, of course. Look at this. What do you think to that for an impact? Right? Pretty significant. Now I thought I'd got away with that. I knew about it, but I thought, oh, it's not too bad that. I've had a look at the arms as well. Now the arms, what concerned me about this poly bushes when I was changing gearboxes and, you know, doing lots of stuff, is these bolts. And you see how this one's nice and tight in there, right? Well, on the other arms, the bolts are weeble wobbly. See that? There's a good few millimeters of play. This one, solid. This is the toe arm. It's got a little bit, but quite a few millimeters, and it's the same for this one, although I've nipped it up to see if that helps it. And obviously when it's nipped up, it's alright, but when it's nipped up on the car, it's going through the frame. Yeah, I don't know if that's anything to be concerned about, just something I noticed, and I can't remember if the bolts were like that when I put them in, or if they've worn the inner bushing maybe. I don't know. Easy to turn. I don't know if you can see that or not. But yeah, she's a little bit bent. And did you see what that was doing at Silverstone and the tight left-handers? The rear of the car was like crazy. So yeah, we must rebuild, but that's fine, we can do that. We can get overnight parts from Taiwan and sort it out, most likely. Oh, you can see there, clear as day, surely. Yeah, that's straight up. That's kinked. Look at the lines on the breeze blocks, yeah? Can you? Right, now you can see that now. Is there some life left in the old girl yet? Do we resurrect the beast? Do we keep going, driving regardless? Do we try and build a new, better car with parts from this car? Or do we build a completely new car and keep that as it is, almost as a backup? Am I that interested in MR2 racing? Do I just want to race the Integra instead and sack it all off? Well, the problem with that, chaps, because I know a few of you are thinking, why are you even bothered about this MR2, Dan? You don't like MR2s. Correct. Correct, that's true. But I do quite like MR2 racing, as it would happen. Yeah, it's quite a nice thing to do, and there's not really another, well, there's quite a lot of one make kind of production series in the UK. You know, there's other things like that I could race, but I quite like the MR2 one. I'd quite like to keep doing it. So, interesting chaps, interesting times. I know you'll be along for the ride anyway, or the half of you, the 5,000 viewers who normally watch the MR2 videos, right? I'm not going to be breaking any internet records with this. I need a drift car, don't I? Big power to get the clicks. Yeah, I know. Or maybe the DC2 rebuild will get the clicks. I don't know, Dan. You need to sell them merchandises though, or else, you know, you'll not be able to do out. Yeah, I know. If only people would buy the 2021 season BOYO Tries. Yeah? Someone sent this to Toyo UK recently. I've not had the response yet. What do you think Toyo were going to think to that? No infringement, right? It's a public font as far as I can see. As far as I could tell. Officer. Wasn't me. Anyway. Right then, chaps. Little update on the MR2. Might still be around in a future video, might not be. But I'll see you then. Thank the Patreons. Thanks to everyone else. Like and subscribe. And I've got a DC2 update coming soon. I have. Stay tuned. See you later. Right, just while we're waiting for Ed to finish. What's he doing, Stella? He's taking the mickey, isn't he? Getting me up here to set his car up, and he's doing loads of other stuff. I started stripping my BC, and yeah, guess what? The damper, like, it's gonna be stiff, but it won't compress at all. Like, that's the one I raced on at Silverstone. Just will only compress at all. It's on full soft. I think that's more to do with the way out, right? But it just will only compress. I've even give it, I got my mate out, my new bestie. Yeah, just will only compress. Crazy, right? It should definitely compress a wee bit. We should be able to get this piston all the way in, but no. So maybe that explains some of the interesting handling characteristics.